Welcome to another episode of the Chuchi Chit Chat Show,
aka the C4 Show.
I'm your host, Chucky,
And I'm Chi.
Today we're going to be talking about double standard parenting.
I know some people are wondering why we are talking about this, and the fact that we are young, we have not gotten married, we don't have children, but then we are the receiving end as children, and we have siblings. So we're trying to trace the problem back to the roots, which is how people are brought up, children are brought up.
Especially in the African society.
Yes. And the standards, the values that are placed upon us. And we grow with that, and it becomes the mentality. About chores, for example. Chores are gender-based, if you like it or not. Cooking is for the girl. Cleaning is for the girl. Washing car is for the boy. Which other thing? Carrying heavy things, furniture or whatsoever is for the boy. Now everything
that one, we have to leave it for them.
Yeah. I know, but still it's gender based, if you like it or not. So the parents, I feel that this thing started from beginning. So people are not seeing cooking as a skill again, like as a survival skill. They are seeing it as a woman's work. Imagine someone telling you that before they marry you, just know that you are the one to cook. Imagine. Because of what?
Like before they marry you, as per like this is like condition precedent to the marriage.
So to me it brings entitlement.
Yes. A lot of entitlement. Like for instance now, you can be in the house chilling and your brother is like how old? Let me say 17, 18, and you're just maybe just on your own, and your mom is yelling at you because your brother has not eaten. Can you imagine?
Like she come and press something for him, but he has hands.
Human being.
2 hands. You have 2 hands as well.
Like it does not make any sense whatsoever. Like what stops you from entering into the kitchen and making something for yourself? Because at the end of the day, you're the person eating this food, and don't you feel somehow when you disturb somebody for, like, basically something that you survive on, you're just disturbing somebody else for that kind of thing. I feel like parents should be able to train their male children to have some form of independence when it comes to the kitchen.
Because if we like it, like even if we don't like it, women actually carry the home. We do most of the things. I'm not being biased here, but at the end of the day, I feel parents train women more, domesticate them more than men.
Yes.
Because there are so many things you hear nowadays. Someone cannot flush toilet. Someone cannot wash boxers or clothes, and you're depending on someone else, your partner, to no. To me, that's where the problem starts from. It starts from the training from the home. That's why we started with double standard training, because the kind of iron hand they are giving to women, girls, they don't give it to boys like that. They excuse their flops, their mistakes, and everything.
I can remember reading one story on Twitter, and I can remember reading a story there, and the person was like, oh, that he could not wait to get married. Like, okay, this was like a realization story. It wasn't like this was his standard where he puts women as boys. Let's not lie, what men see when they're growing up is what shapes them in future as to how they will treat their wives and the rest. So he was like, when he was dating his girlfriend, he would cook for her, do a lot of things, but at the back of his mind he was like, God, I can't wait to marry this girl, so that all these things that I'm doing for her, she'll pay me back in turn. Do you understand? That I won't cook again, that kind of thing. I won't clean, nothing. I will just cross my legs and do all the and just sit down. She will do all the chores and that kind of thing. So fortunately for him, because it would have been unfortunate, especially for women like us of this generation, that we want to get married, yes, but we don't want to exactly be slaves and everything.
Exactly.
So fortunately for him, he came to the realization that he didn't actually consider her as someone that he loved because of the thoughts he had towards her. He just really wanted to get married to her just because he wanted to, like, transfer that burden of cooking, cleaning, and everything to her permanently. So as he got that realization, they started sharing the chores equally. It was kind of like an eye opener because a lot of men don't even have that realization. I feel like a lot of them, not a lot, just some of them get married because some of these things they want to get it off their back and transfer it to someone else's child.
Especially the ones that have the audacity to ask for freshly cooked food
every day.
Freshly cooked because I'm what?
Hey,
I don't have what to do. I don't have job or what.
No. That thing actually really like turns my head. That freshly cooked food. That's a lot of work.
At the end of the day, actually, like if you want to trace the problem, the mentality, where this entitlement and everything comes from. It comes from the home, the way they train the person as a child.
Yes. And do you know that some men think that, okay, so you've been watching this as you were a child and as you grew up gradually and everything. You obviously don't see your father do anything.
Yes.
Apart from cross legs, read newspaper, go to work and everything. And some men now think that them doing it in their own house, because the men never fail to tell you that this is my house when there is a problem. So they now feel that doing anything domestic in their own house demeans them, makes them less of a human being, makes them less respected in the society. They can't even clean after. No, I won't say clean after them. Maybe they can flush toilets, but even the toilet.
I do it. That's just the funny thing. They literally learn the skill for the time where they're bachelors. Then immediately after marriage, it's a whole different story. It's like they never knew how to cook for themselves, which is quite pathetic. And we should try as much as possible to, like, from as little as you know that you're going to make your female child enter into the kitchen or start doing house chores, the male child too should be able to do that.
Also, everybody should do everything.
Exactly, except maybe you say lifting heavy things, because obviously the male physique is quite different from the female physique and everything. And this thing also, like, it's also, I don't know, it seems straining, whatever, Shaisha. But like, in this modern world now, we see that both male and female go to work. It's not like the time of our mothers or before themselves, where they were housewives or they go to shop or something. Even going to shop is stressful, or staying in the shop and everything.
You see, come on.
Like that thing, and when I think about it gives me goosebumps, but not in a good way.
Yeah. The one that annoys me the most is when the woman needs to travel and the children cannot stay with the dad. Like they have to carry children to the cousins, the aunties or something, because the father cannot take care of the children.
And do you know it's ridiculous, because that's the father.
They cannot. It's not possible. It's even the wife that now will be looking for solution. Not even the man. The man knows that cannot do it. It's a no. Children can't stay with him. Your own children.
Yes, I can remember there was one thing, a statement someone made. She was like, "Oh, that she doesn't want a job that makes her travel. And who will she leave her children for?"
Can you imagine? But you're married.
Is it when her husband gallivants around the city that she too she'll be outside? I was like, wow. I think this thing is just a two-way thing.
Yes.
You just have to agree, and it's upbringing at the end of the day. Yeah. If you domesticate that male child, tell that male child that life is not like that, or like you have to be there for your children, whether it is financially as well as physically, then it's just something that is built in them, and they see it and they cultivate that habit over time. And everything. There was one thing I read on Twitter as well. One guy was like, that he does not understand. Though I really like, I was actually happy to see a tweet like that because it's not everybody that thinks that way. He was like, he does not understand why. I think it was a recent tweet or something like that. Maybe you might have even seen it. It was like, he does not understand why after maybe a rainy day or a stressful day in the office, he will come home and he'll see his wife in the kitchen slaving, smelling of fish. That all he just wants to do is to chill with his wife and drink wine and cuddle and sleep, and he does not need her to be stressing
so sad
because he wants fresh food every day.
It's so sad because the wife is already embedded in her that you have to cook for your husband. He must come home and meet food. So the man won't understand it because he's more privileged in that area.
But only we're not saying that you shouldn't cook, please. That's not what we're saying. But we're just saying that.
Cook, if not.
But we're just saying that at least the men should be able to do something for themselves.
Yeah.
Don't just depend. It will help you and help your wife or help whoever it is you come across in the long run. It's not just about you depending on somebody, and a lot of people have died because of food poisoning because they cannot feed themselves. So if you do something wrong to somebody, they can easily poison you with food and some other things. What's wrong with you? They can easily poison you with food. So just learn to do some certain things yourself, and parents as well should try and domesticate their male children. It's not just the women. This aspect also affects sexual life in general.
Yes. It does.
So, like, for instance, now, it's like it has always been drilled in us that you have to be prim and proper.
Is it about the shaming, society shaming?
Yes. Don't go here. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't bring shame onto. Yes. Don't get pregnant out of wedlock. Fine, no, those are all good advice and everything. Core values. But I think that it should be like two-way. If you're going to tell the female child not to get pregnant, I'm sure she can't get pregnant alone. Exactly. She can't reproduce alone. So you should also tell the male child, don't get any girl pregnant. Educate them on how to abstain, yes. Or even if they don't want to abstain, that's the thing. A lot of African parents run away from sexual education, which is bad.
Nigerians behave as though people should not have it. Like, people are not meant to have it, or people are not having it. Let me just put it that way. But at the end of the day,
it is happening.
Yes, I've seen record that I've forgotten what they call it, but something like record of the highest use of condoms, and was it not Nigeria? So no matter how people say it, people still do it in the dark or real like daytime or whatever. People still do it, but Nigerians don't just like to think that people actually do it. Like they can stop it. Actually, parents, you can't stop it at the end of the day.
It will happen. Whether it is during marriage or before marriage, but like I feel like the same energy you give to the female child as well, you should give it to the male child.
It's not only the females that are prone to that.
Yes, and it's so funny how sometimes they'll tell you, as a female, don't bring belle, don't carry a child out of wedlock. But if it is the male child, they'll be oh, it's my son now. I'll carry the child. Even if the girl's parents don't want the child, I will take the child. The child is my grandchild.
They will, if something like that happens now, that there's the girl comes home with pregnancy, they will slut shame her. They will ridicule her that she opened her legs, different sorts of things. The man comes home, they will just. I'm not saying from experience or anything, but I'm just saying in general. I'm just trying to generalize. That the man comes home, they won't put so much fire under his feet as much as the girl. How they will tell the girl how they have disowned her, so many things. So it's not equal, it's not balanced. The way after some time they will ask the boy to do something about the pregnancy. Maybe they will marry, they will force them to marry whatsoever. But at the end of the day, the girl is the one with the most ridicule.
Yes, and it's at the end of the day, it's not really balanced, and
It's not.
I just
It's biased.
it is so biased. If you're going to treat the girl some certain type of way for getting pregnant, you should also treat the boy the same way for getting a girl pregnant. That it should just be the same energy in all of
Yes,
it, and
exactly.
it's just absurd that you're just giving them different kind of treatment, and this kind of things affect people in the long run at the end of the day. Like for instance, now we're talking about house chores previously, and it creates a sense of entitlement in the male figure. For instance, you feel like you're entitled to
A woman's
a
body.
woman's, yes, so it affects it, because
Yeah.
if you feel like, if I'm hungry, I can't go into the kitchen to make stuff for myself, my sister has
Yes,
to
that,
do it.
yes.
It just grows over time. You just feel like,
or you see somewhere dirty. Let me say the house is dirty, and let me say somewhere your sense is saying sweep it. Then you now remind yourself, no, this is not my work. It's not Chucky that does this thing. Why should I do it? I'll wait for her. She'll come and sweep it, or she'll come and cook.
And
But
at
then
the end
you're
of-
dying of hunger.
and at the end of the day, you will be there as the guy. The house is dirty. They will leave you and come and shout at the girl.
Exactly. The responsibility is on the girl.
Yeah.
Why
so,
is the house dirty? Why did you leave the house dirty? Even if you are just entering the house.
So it just creates a sense of entitlement in the male figure. They're entitled to a woman's body because at the end of the day, they don't see us as much. They see us as people that are supposed to cook and clean and in general take care of the house, while he's to go to work and come back and sit down. Do you remember one was like an illustration? Do you remember that a lot of people on Twitter were so angry about?
Yeah. I saw it. What do they call those things? Is it comic? It was like comic. Is it what they call it?
Yes.
Manga or something.
Like I remember,
Yes.
they were trying to praise.
I quoted it as well. 'Cause I was so confused.
They were trying to praise the woman for doing the bulk of the work and everything.
People will be sleeping. She's washing clothes. She's preparing for the next day.
That was like glorified suffering,
God
and
forbid
people
that.
were not having it. People were not having it. So it's just at the end of the day, like you just have to try and domesticate the male child so that he might not be entering the kitchen all the time, fine, but he should have that sense of, let me help once in a while. At least this is my house as well. Let me be able to clean this place. I married a wife, not a slave. That kind of thing. It's not even slave, just help in general. It just shows human compassion at the end of the day, nothing more. So I just think parents should try and develop on that.
Yeah. Another thing about sense of entitlement, I'm not trying to stray, but it's also in the rape culture.
Preach.
Yeah. Like some men can't handle rejection. And I feel it's the way the person is brought up. When, let me say, Tunde wants biscuit now, and Tunde doesn't get the biscuit, Tunde will cry. Before you know, the mother will give Tunde biscuit. Then let me say if it's the girl, for example, it's the girl, and the girl cries out like, learn to discipline yourself. Do this one, that one. They will not even answer the girl like that. So, to me, when men can't handle rejection, that people look at it as a small thing, but it's not, because this leads to people being rapists. So this sense of entitlement, they can have this sense of entitlement on women's bodies, and if a woman refuses them, they're like, I'm going to show her pepper, follow her, track her down, rape her,
just because they need to get that thing by all means.
Harass her in some way or the other, even on the road.
Yeah.
You just have to, because of the fear of all this kind of thing, you just have to give people your number, and so that they can let you be, then you can block them after everything. So there's that.
Yeah, and I just even remember that we can't even forget this vital point that, like, generally, women from birth, you just know that whatever it is you're doing it for marriage.
Yes. Everything.
they drill it
Once
into you.
Yes, what will you do when you get to your husband? Is this how you are going to behave when you get to? Is this how you will sleep when you get to your husband's house? Is this how you wash plates when you get to your husband's house? I'm not sure anybody, but is this how you do this when you get to your husband? Everything is this how you will dress when you get to your husband's house? So when you go to everything husband's house.
So they literally prepare us for marriage.
What if I want to go to the Maldives?
And they don't even say anything to men about, is this what you will do to your wife?
Exactly. Nothing.
Is this how you treat your wife? Is this how you do your wife? Is this... I've never heard that kind of thing.
We should not breathe. Even as we are breathing, is this how you breathe in your husband's house?
Everything. So if you're going to be drilling us about husband's house, because at the end of the day, a lot of women are really prepared for marriage. That's why women get married really early, because we know a lot about marriage. But men literally do not know anything. They just know that maybe they love you,
or they are doing someone a favor.
Exactly. They're taking you off the market, putting a ring on your finger, giving you respect, that kind of thing. But the energy should be reciprocated. If you're going to be preparing me for my husband's house, you're preparing my husband for me.
Exactly.
Period.
Period. Cool.
Yeah. So we've come to the end of this segment.
Yeah. We know it's short, right? But we just wanted to hit all the nails on their heads.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that the same energy given to raising a female child should also be given to raising a male child to avoid a lot of problems.
We're not condemning anybody, any parents or whatever. Please don't get us wrong, but we just feel more effort should be given to both genders. It shouldn't be one way in any way.
Yes. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like this video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe,
comment,
share,
please tell us your experiences. What else apart from experiences?
And
give us gist.
I'm telling you. And tell us what you like us to talk about.
Yeah,
we love you. See you in our next video.